सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
The miseries of material existence and the most hopeless conditions of life is the best possible opportunity to turn to God.
You're listening to Bare Knuckle Bhakti Shorties on the Bhakti Recovery Podcast with Jiva G, coming at you every Monday with a little spiritual something. Hi, Ball. Good morning, my dear friends. I want to talk about communication. I really want to talk about communication and how that and communication and how the lack of communication can affect my consciousness, my Krishna consciousness, if I let it do so. So, scenario. Let's talk about a scenario. Let me just be a little bit more specific. So, you have a situation. Let's say I have a situation. Okay, I do have a situation where I'm trying to communicate with, I would say, an institution. And the communication is misleading, not on my part. I've done my inventory in all of this. And knowing that I trust Krishna in this process, whether things work or not, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to collaborate. And when the communication doesn't go well, when there's not clear communication, clear boundaries, clear goals, things spoken of and held up to. So when those things aren't in place, what is happening is that, personally, I'm not talking about spiritually, although they do cross. Materially and personally, when communication is not healthy, not clear, and when it's it's not completely honest, and even if it's not meant to not be, look, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. Not everybody has clear communication skills, but that's what I'm talking about. So when those things aren't in place, I can't have an honest relationship with you or anyone else. It's really difficult for me to work with people who say one thing and their actions show me otherwise. And I'm not trying to demonize anyone. And I'm not trying to point my fingers. I'm just saying that if everyone had very clear communication, then none of these things, none of misunderstandings or this lack of trust thing would happen. So what I'm trying to say is every single person, every single institution should be working a program. Hello. Should be working a program. So, even if it's a small thing, and when I say, through prayer, meditation, the chanting of the holy names, to improve my conscious contact with Krishna as I understand him, praying only for the knowledge of his will for me and the power to carry that out. So, whatever's going on down here, I can fully spiritually actually accept that and say, like, okay, well then if it's not meant to be, it's no worries, I'm not attached, it's all good. As far as let's say the result goes, or what we're aiming for, or our goals. And if we're not on the same page with the goals, or the way we reach those goals is not the same, doesn't mean that I have to be, first of all, angry at somebody, or second of all, say, well, I guess it's not Krishna's will for me, because it didn't work out. No, I'm completely in full understanding. Krishna's time, not my time. And it gives me the opportunity again to exercise my program. It's really not about this like, okay, I'm doing all the footwork. Here's the results of that. And you see, I can try as hard as I can and it just doesn't work out. I'm not there. I have to say with certain things, I've really moved beyond that. I think that was a big part of my life in the past. So today it's like trusting God and God's plan. That's okay. However, dealing with humans, it gives me time to exercise the gift that I have of recovery. So in one sense, I could be grateful for the situation because, hey, I get a chance again to be able to understand that it's not on my time. It's not the way I want to communicate. It's not the way me. However, if I even focus out in a bird's eye view, I can safely say that the way I communicate, I don't, especially in certain situations, not in all, but in most situations, especially when it comes to goal-oriented things, it's just clear, it's honest, and there's not really much you can say about that as far as communication goes. I'm pretty clear in my communication, something that I've worked very hard for. And I have to also accept that other people do not hold that as much in their own value system with clear communication. So, to sum all of this up, trust God, practice my program, check my side of the street, live in my values, ride that chariot with Krishna riding it. Actually, I'm just a passenger. If you want to jump on board, there's a lot of space on this chariot. That's the conclusion I have. And I think for me and for what I need to do in life and for my mission and for my service, that's just, I had been taught so many lessons to get to this space. 5 years of the Bhakti Recovery Group, going on 6 in a couple of months. It'll be 6 years. And this journey has been not only a transformational journey of the 12 steps and bhakti, but also of myself. And I'm hoping, well, I know this because I hear it a lot, and for hundreds of others, it changes lives. If we choose to do so. If we choose to ride on that particular chariot, there are many chariots that we can get on. But if you choose this one, as I have, and others, then it's it's transformational. So that balance, and what comes up here for me actually in the whole situation of working with others and giving me a chance to practice my, these principles in all of my affairs, to practice my program, what comes up is I don't want to say inherent because inherent is the spirit soul, but I would say my deeply conditioned lack of trust in the human race. That comes up a lot. And I could go in the area where I'm like, see, people just don't know, and I can't deal with people, and I don't want to deal with dishonest people, and I don't want this, and I don't want that. And while, yeah, that's actually true, that's my standard. I have no time for dishonest communication, or I have no interest for that kind of relationship on a long-term level, on a long-term basis. I have all the tolerance in the world for someone who says, you know what, I want clear communication. I want boundaries. I want to be able to function in this crazy material world in a healthy emotional way. But I'm not there yet. I'm completely open on that. Because I'm not 100% there yet either. I still got my snags. So being able to have these standards in my life doesn't close the door. I just become skeptical. And the thing is when this lack of trust thing comes up and I trying to get something done and in collaboration with an individual, a sponsor or sponsee or whatever that is, if I'm doing that and there's not a trustworthy communication or promises being made and not delivered, I need to tread carefully and work my program that much harder, because I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to be, what I don't want is I don't want to get pissed, because when I get pissed, it just ruins my day. It doesn't ruin anyone else's day. They're just happily doing whatever it is that they're doing the best that they are doing. So, so that, you know, that's the dance. That's the dance. And that dance with this situation goes with everything. Any situation that's not agreeable to us in some way or not. It's the intolerance. It's that, you know, the AA acceptance is the key to all my problems today. And it's very beneficial to me and my program and the people around me to keep that open. And I have every right to step out of any situation that I don't want to deal with. If it's not, you know, none of the situations I'm in now where I feel like I have to step out of a situation because it's so bad. It's just something that I notice at the moment. I'm really grateful. I really have to say, you know, getting old is on one hand the best thing that could have happened as far as maturity goes and being okay with the world around me to a certain degree. But it definitely brings the diseases and the, you know, the physical challenges and all of that stuff. And so it's a, you know, it's a double-edged sword. But yeah, what I wanted to express, clear communication on my part. I can't expect others to have that. That's just how if that's how they want to communicate, that's how they want to communicate. That's not, in German you say that's not my beer, which is not something I want to say. It's not my circus, not my monkeys. That's more favorite. But I still don't want to say that there's a circus or a monkey. It's just a different way of doing things. And I'm happy to be tolerant. But I'm also happy to have certain boundaries and certain bottom lines where I'm like, okay, here's where the line is. And I'm tolerant within that. And when that line gets crossed, there's nobody stopping me. I can just quietly say, thank you, no thank you. And remove myself from any situation I choose to remove myself from. In peace. In German we say, go with God, but just go. And I love that expression. Go with God in my heart and go. Go, but go with God is even actually better. So, yeah, my friends, it's another shorty. Well, not really. It's 15 minutes about. Sorry for I think last week's shorty was cut off in a weird way. It's because I started mumbling and bumbling afterwards, and I'm not good at editing, so I just cut it off where I could. Yes, my team has been poking at me. Thank you, team. I want to give you a public shout out. This Bhakti Recovery Group team is kick ass. They're amazing. We're getting so much done, moving so much forward, and they're volunteering so much of their time, and I am so grateful. And they've been poking me to be a little bit more diligent about asking for contributions. So, team, I love you guys. People, I love you too. We want you first, and then we want your money. No, I'm only kidding. But no, I'm not. We need contributions, whether that is contributions financially. We are very, very in need of those. And we would be so appreciative of any contribution. You know, $5, $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000. Whatever you can, please, we will take that in gratitude. And we're also looking, if someone is looking to sponsor somebody, we need some more sponsors in our groups. Please write us, Bhakti Recovery Group at gmail.com. And let us know if you're willing to be a sponsor for people who are exploring the 12 steps. So, of course, people who would volunteer to be a sponsor would know that. I don't mean a sponsor financially. Sorry about that. Let me correct this language. A sponsor is like for people who aren't in 12 steps. Sponsor is a mentor, someone who has been through the 12 steps and is willing to take somebody else through the 12 steps of recovery. So we're looking for people to do that. You don't have to have Bhakti experience, but 12-step experience is a must. Go to our website, www.bhaktirecoverygroup.com. We have a support page. We also have a donation button. I would really appreciate if you guys would just take the time. It really is just a minute. I mean, everything is set up. All you got to do is boop. There's a PayPal and Wise, whichever you choose. So thank you for your time. I hope you're enjoying these shorties. I hope you're enjoying, I hope you're healthy. I hope you're clean and sober. I hope you're handling codependency with a program. I hope you're navigating your way through life with some tools, and I hope I'm somehow contributing in my little way for this. So Hare Krishna, my dear friends. I love you all. Haribol.
Thanks for listening. I hope you liked the Monday Shorties. Don't forget to check out our full-length episodes on Thursdays. If you like what you heard, spread the word. Peace out.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
The miseries of material existence and the most hopeless conditions of life is the best possible opportunity to turn to God.